7 Premier League games. Just before the break. Of his too long.
Real scrappy start.
Reaction from Leicester City in the second half, but what does this mean for Manuel Pellegrini and his future? We'll discuss that in just a few moments, but here's a quick reminder of the day's results. A brilliant result for Brighton in our early game, beating Bournemouth 2-0. Ancelotti, it's back-to-back wins for him as the new Everton boss. Southampton and Palace shared the points and shared the goals. Watford, what a win it was for them. They beat Aston Villa 3-0. As for Norwich against Tottenham, that has just finished with 2 goals apiece and the points shared. Leicester City, of course, have just beaten West Ham, and later on we will see Burnley up against Manchester United at Turf Moor. Some great games.
And as we prepare to welcome in 2020, pretty much the same questions remain about United and their manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 5 of Burnley's 7 wins this season have been here at Turf Moor, although Liverpool, Manchester City and Chelsea all won here with something to spare. Owen Coyle remains the only Burnley manager for 51 years to beat Manchester United on this ground. So just the 2 changes for Burnley tonight, and expected ones at that. Jeff Hendrick is back from suspension and replaces Robbie Brady in midfield. Ashley Barnes is back alongside Chris Wood up front, with Jay Rodriguez back on the bench. Danny Drinkwater, who started his career at Old Trafford, is among the Burnley substitutes. Aaron Lennon misses his 2nd successive game through illness. There are 4 changes for Manchester United, who are here without Paul Pogba tonight. Ashley Young and Brandon Williams come in at full-back for Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. Nemanja Matic plays his first Premier League game since mid-September, in for the injured Scott McTominay. Daniel James replaces Boxing Day goalscorer Mason Greenwood, who drops down to the bench. The absence of Pogba is precautionary, we're told. And Owen Hargreaves alongside me for this one at Turf Moor. Owen, tactically, what are you looking for tonight?
Well, I think for Sean Dyche, you're going to see that typical, that 4-4-2. And as the boys are saying in the studio, Dwight McNeil is terrific. Can you get some service into Chris Wood and Barnes up top? And I think for United, that front 3, as Scholesy was saying, with James, Martial and Rashford, plenty of pace in there. Can they get at Burnley and put them under pressure very quickly in this game?
Thanks, Owen. So I think getting Ashley Barnes back among the goals may well be a New Year's resolution for Sean Dyche and his staff. After 4 in his first 3 games this season, he's managed 2 in the subsequent 14. Dyche hopes the 1-2 punch of Barnes and strike partner Chris Wood is the right recipe tonight. Well, Marcus Rashford doesn't want 2019 to end, does he? He's flourishing for both United and England. 15 goals in 18 games for club and country is a brilliant ratio. The Burnley manager Sean Dyche has been in charge of more than 300 games with Burnley, but he's never managed to beat Manchester United. He hopes it's 9th time lucky today. And I doubt any manager has been as scrutinised or questioned more than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in 2019. But he's still here and still fighting after recently celebrating a year in charge at Old Trafford. Well, whatever happens tonight, Manchester United will start 2020 with fewer points than they took into 2019, and they'll face a similar challenge to finish in the top 4 as they did a year ago. Paris in March and the Etihad 3 weeks ago are among this year's highs, but their frailty against weaker teams remains frustrating and confusing. From the Burnley side of things, Robbie Blake in August 2009 is the only player to score a winning goal against Manchester United for them in almost 60 years. Is there a hero in claret and blue who can match him tonight? I thought Sean Dyche's words in the build-up to the match were interesting as well, Owen, when he said he expects the players to be ready tonight. He said they've had plenty of time to get themselves recovered and ready for this one. Refreshing to hear a Premier League manager talking straight like that.
I'm sure his players will be up for this game against Manchester United, and it's an opportunity for both teams. I think for United, they can go 5th, sitting how inconsistent they've been. It's a big opportunity.
This is the left-back, Charlie Taylor. The first chase tonight for Chris Wood. Well, there's a real winter's chill in the air at Turf Moor this evening, but conditions down there pretty much ideal for the players. There's Marcus Rashford, who was looking to try and link up early there with Anthony Martial. That's a partnership that really has grown and flourished in the 12 months under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
You've just got to be careful, United, not give away some of those silly free kicks in those areas. Obviously, Barnes holds up the ball really well. Very dangerous on set pieces.
Burnley have pretty much been feast or famine since the middle of October, although 4 wins and 7 defeats has them slightly on the wrong side of that equation. They don't tend to draw matches. There's the first tester in the air into the Manchester United box, which brought the defending from young Brandon Williams, who's in there at left back for Manchester United tonight. And it goes again. It was a searching ball in there from Jeff Hendrick, who's back in the side. That has been the area this season, owing where Manchester United have been susceptible. Crosses from wide positions have given them a problem on more than one occasion.
Yeah, and this Burnley team with Wood and Barnes, you know, two of the best in terms of attacking those crosses. You have to credit Lindelof, actually. It's a really good header. And you're going to be under pressure, Maguire and Lindelof, to deal with those crosses.
Fred for Manchester United. His form has been so much better in recent weeks. He's starting his 13th successive Premier League match in central midfield tonight. He's been one of Manchester United's better performers recently. And Nick Pope out there just slightly ahead of Andreas Pereira. United recovered well after going a goal down to Newcastle on Boxing Day. They've been scoring plenty in a run of 5 wins in 7 games, a run that's put them within striking distance of the top 4. In fact, if they can win here tonight, they'd be 5th place and only a point behind Chelsea, and certainly started to move in the right direction. And actually, in that game against Newcastle, dominated possession, had a ton of shots. Felt like a more Manchester United performance from the past, not on the counter-attack. Can they do it again tonight? If you are just coming into the game tonight with us on BT Sport, there's no Paul Pogba in the Manchester United travelling party, despite the fact that he came on and played well against Newcastle. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer feeling that 2 games in quick succession wasn't what was needed for the French World Cup winner. So United here tonight without Paul Pogba, but with a strong bench, as you can see. Mason Greenwood sat there. He'll probably feel a bit disappointed knowing that he's not started this game tonight.
Every time he plays, he scores. He's in that mould of Marcus Rashford, another special young player coming through. Such a natural finisher. I'm sure he'll get on in this game.
There's Harry Maguire, who's already made a better start than he did on this ground 12 months ago. Sent off inside 4 minutes playing for Leicester City, Manchester United centre-back. Away by Ashley Young, who's landed awkwardly there. Wood will chase this, but Victor Lindelof back there on the cover for Manchester United. Ashley Young stayed down here, and Mike Dean will stop the game so that the United medical staff can take a look at their captain.
Yeah, he fell really hard, actually. That is a sore one. That's the thing with the ball up in the air all the time. They make it so difficult, Burnley. And as a player, this is hard, really difficult to play against.
He's in tonight for Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Ashley Young. I was looking earlier today that he scored on his Watford debut, Owen, back in 2003, Ashley Young. And in the centre of the Watford defence that day was the current Burnley manager, Sean Dyche. That's how long that Ashley Young's been around.
Brilliant.
Stood there alongside his trusty sidekick Ian Woan, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka having a precautionary warm-up there for Manchester United. It's a vastly different United team, by the way, than the one that won here last season. Valencia, Smalling, Fellaini, Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez were among the starters last September. Just kind of put into perspective the work that Solskjaer is trying to do with this squad.
Yeah, and you think about that, you know, Dan James and Martial, Rashford, Pereira, you know, they're all, what, 24, 23, 22. It's a really young team. That's where some of the inconsistencies are coming from. But they're going to get there. Just going to take time.
Here is Anthony Martial and now Marcus Rashford. Nemanja Matic. Rashford looking to sneak in behind Phil Bardsley, the former Manchester United player who's won his place back at right back for Burnley in recent weeks. He'll be relishing the challenge ahead of him tonight, won't he, Phil Bardsley?
Yeah, Phil loves a... He was at United when I was there. Loves a physical challenge. And Relish playing against United again, and he loves to be physical. I think Rashford, with his pace, knowing to that field, knowing he loves to make those challenges.
Jeff Hedrick in there for Burnley. We'll see whether Rashford's learned his lesson from a season ago. He's sent off after an altercation with Phil Bardsley in the fixture last season. This is Dwight McNeil, and now the left-back Charlie Taylor can get forward. The two partners in crime, Wood and Barnes, are waiting in the middle. It's into Barnes, and it was just a fraction too high. It's a really enterprising run down the left-hand side by Charlie Taylor, and well defended in there by Brandon Williams.
Oh, it's brilliant covering from Brandon Williams, especially with Wood just in behind you.
Martial looking for the run of James here, and it was excellent acceleration by Tarkowski to get back and get a foot in for Burnley. Nice open field to the game at the start.
Yeah, really good start to the game. Charlie Taylor on the overlap with little nutmegs and a great ball in at the back post, and I think if United can get Dan James into that space, that's exactly what they're going to want.
Steered out by Victor Lindelof for Manchester United. They're a traditional old-style 1-2 punch up. They Wood and Barnes. 30 goals between them in the Premier League in 2019. They've scored over half of Burnley's goals so far this season, and both of them recently signed new contracts. It's going to be a physically draining night for Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof. Challenged in there by Ashley Westwood.
He's so good, Marcus Rashford. When he gets running, he's caught there. And Ashley Westwood knows if he gets the other side, they're in trouble.
It's already his most prolific goal-scoring season for Manchester United for Marcus Rashford. 15 in all competitions, essentially at the halfway stage of the season. He only managed 13 the whole of last season, and he's really flourished, hasn't he, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 24 goals in the calendar year for Marcus Rashford for Manchester United. Chris Wood looking to get there ahead of Harry Maguire. Big night for this man, Nemanja Matic, who hasn't been able to find a place in the Manchester United midfield in Premier League matches very often this season. No Scott McTominay tonight after he injured his knee against Newcastle on Boxing Day. Face of Ashley Westwood came in handy there. Away by Taylor. Up went Lindelof along with Ashley Barnes. Fred. Williams to Martial. It's a real key for Manchester United these days, Owen, isn't it? The rotation of those three players up front, the ability of Rashford, Martial and James to essentially play each other's positions, even though Martial will predominantly be through the middle, but they do rotate around and make it difficult for the opposition's defence.
Yeah. Well, you're right, they've all changed positions. I actually love to see James sometimes more through the middle. With his pace, he's so quick. He's got to get the right delivery.
Nice ball by Bardsley into Wood, but an important challenge in there for Manchester United by Matic. Smart turn there by Rashford. Good pace and strength as well, and then equally good tracking back by Jack Cork. And the free kick will go Manchester United's way. Tarkowski on Fred.
It's actually been a really good game. It was really good for Marcus Rashford, running out of defence again. A well-timed challenge in. And Tarkowski with a foul on Fred.
James Tarkowski grew up supporting Manchester United, so he'll be up for this one tonight. A very solid partnership alongside Ben Mee at centre-back for Burnley. Will he fancy it from this far out, Marcus Rashford, Owen?
You wouldn't have thought so, no. I would think that's too far, especially against a keeper like Pope. Standing up at the back post for Maguire, being marked by Tarkowski.
Certainly taking plenty of time placing the ball down. It was fascinating hearing him discuss how he strikes the ball in the build-up with Robin van Persie. It looks like he fancies this.
And he's more than capable.
It's all of 35 yards. It's Marcus Rashford, and it brought the save from the England goalkeeper Nick Pope. It's so difficult to judge the flight of the ball, the way that he strikes it, Rashford.
Yeah, it was interesting hearing him speak to Robin van Persie before the game, where he said he almost just punches it, not a ton of follow-through, just wanted it to dip and get away from Nick Pope. It's a really good strike.
It's that late movement, isn't it, that makes it so difficult for the goalkeeper.
Yeah, keepers hate that one.
Lindelof caught over there by Barnes.
It's a really good touch from Victor Lindelof.
Here's Harry Maguire. Manchester United have had an element of control about things in the opening 14 minutes or so. Ashley Young to Anthony Martial.
The lead, quality of the opposition
Andreas
has been too good for them so far.
Pereira. He was just caught there by Jack Cork. It never seems to miss a game in central midfield for
Jose
Burnley.
Mourinho came through the door at the...
Flick there by James to Martial and then back again. They've worked it nicely. Manchester United. Rashford's made the run in the middle, and that's going to be a United free kick for the challenge there by Taylor.
It's really good play from James. Lovely 1-2. Actually, Taylor does really well actually to get back in. I thought James was away. Foul just outside the box. That's what he's brilliant at, James, just running into that space.
It's an interesting position, this one, Owen. You can do pretty much what you like from there with the left foot.
Well, from the other side, as a right foot, I used to love to shoot from there. Keeper thinks sometimes you're going to cross it.
Fred and Pereira over the ball, and Nick Pope making sure he's got the Burnley players in the right spot. Just a two-man wall for them. Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof have gone in there as well. Fred does whip one in and hits it too high. He read your mind there. He fancied the shot himself.
Well, that's quite remarkable statistic. They haven't scored from a free kick in over a year. That goes up, just never comes down. It's definitely worth the try.
There's another one of those searching balls down the middle that Lindelof and Maguire have got to make sure they deal with, and they will deal with them under pressure from both Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes. That's Brandon Williams' boot.
This is really good play. That's difficult to get out of that position there. Not sure about the boots coming off. There, but he turns really well.
It's his 4th Premier League start tonight. He's still 19 years of age, Brandon Williams. He's appeared quite often in the Europa League as well this season. He's been a Manchester United player since he joined the club as a 7-year-old. He's another one that's come in this season and really done the business for them when required. Here's Jeff Hendricks. Cresswell fouled by Harry Maguire. I'd suggest that battle will be extremely physical tonight, Maguire and Wood.
Actually, got to credit Maguire and Lindelof so far. They've embraced that physical side, but just got to not give away some of those free kicks. This is where Burnley are very capable. They want to get the ball in the box.
No second invitation needed here for Tarkowski and Mee to get forward. Westwood with the free kick deep into the heart of the Manchester United box. And the runners were arriving. Tarkowski was in there to win the header. And now the Manchester United break on going the other way with Anthony Martial. Pereira. Rashford. And it poked down in full length to his left-hand side. He caught it sweetly there, Rashford.
And we saw the two teams at their best, really. Burnley get the ball into the box and United in transition. Nice little set from Pereira. Difficult for Rashford. Just a couple of bodies in the way, but that's the one straight from the training ground. Tarkowski heads it across. Got to be there. Cork, he's just short of it. Great header at the back post against Maguire. That's exactly what they want.
There's Charlie Taylor. Nemanja Matic with the last touch over there. Headed up into the air by Harry Maguire and then back to his goalkeeper by Matic. And Manchester United have only lost one of the last 27 games against Burnley. Michael Carrick was part of the team that lost here 10 years ago. It was Burnley's first home game as a Premier League team. It was one of those results early in the season that sent shockwaves around the place. There's Fred Owen. What's he done differently in recent matches to make him a more significant contributor in midfield for Manchester United?
I think a lot of people at times were questioning his ability. I don't think you can do that. If you watch him play at Shakhtar, he's technically a very, very good player. But when the team is struggling, as United were at the beginning of the season, he struggled too. I think you need leaders in there around him. United don't have that in forward areas. When the team struggled, he struggled. I think he needs the right partner in there. McTominay was great for him because he worked really hard. And I think that helped him.
It was agreed that decision's gone against him. It's quite significant as well because of Burnley from set pieces pose a real threat. Fred's adamant that it came off Dwight McNeil.
Well, it did. And the thing is as well, Fred's not going to want to be facing his own goal with the ball there. Pass it to someone, let them play it forward.
Ashley Westwood with a deep corner looking for Tarkowski. He's the one that Manchester United have to pick up on set pieces, isn't he? Tarkowski is such a threat in both penalty areas in the air. On by Matic. Bardsley there for Burnley. Ashley Barnes will chase this. Loves to chase a lost cause, the Burnley number 10. Jack Cork here to Barnes, who's then coming back from an offside position. Evidence, though, of the keenness of Wood to press David De Gea when he's got the ball.
Yeah, they're effective, Burnley, at their style of play. Just off there. Ashley Barnes, you see, but considering they don't have much possession, Burnley, they are very effective at playing their way.
Lovely touch there by Rashford to Williams. That's a foul by Bardsley and will be a yellow card as well. That's one of the easier ones today for Mike Dean, I think.
He loves to get forward, Brandon Williams. He's quicker than Phil Bardsley. And just brings him down, takes him out. Easy for the referee. This is a great position for a free kick taker.
Played 18 games under Sir Alex Ferguson, Phil Bardsley. He started 8 of the last 9 Premier League matches. His foul, though, has brought about this free kick situation for Manchester United. They've got Fred and Pereira over the ball again. This time it's Pereira. Well, it was headed away in there by Chris Wood, the striker, who was back there helping out. Here's Martial. It's pressurised in there by Westwood. Williams looking for the run of Pereira, and Tarkowski back there for Burnley. One back for Manchester United by Fred. Worked that situation well. Fred had the space to find Rashford. Now Brandon Williams. Plenty of gold shirts forward here for United. Run made there by Pereira. Rashford found him with the ball, but Burnley able to defend it. And then Maguire was caught in the face by the boot of Wood. Hasn't been quite the rotation of players here by Sean Dyche and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that we've seen elsewhere today. I think Brendan Rodgers made 9 changes to the Leicester team for their game against West Ham. Both fullbacks have been changed by United today. Wan-Bissaka and Shaw on the bench. 4 changes for United, 2 for Burnley. Lindelof to Andreas Pereira. Here's Dan James. Martial to Pereira. Martial makes a bit of room. It was well defended there for Burnley by Cork. Ashley Westwood to Jeff Hendrick. Bardsley goes long here for Wood, who's gone in behind Lindelof, and it was alert goalkeeping back there by David De Gea.
Yeah, credit De Gea. He read that from a very long way away. Really good ball over the top from Phil Bardsley.
It can look on occasions like a long punt forward, but there's a real reason behind it, the method to it for Burnley. When you've got 2 strikers who'll run as much as these 2, Wood and Barnes, it's often a decent ball.
Well, it's either a straight one down the side of the centre-backs or it's a diagonal one.
It's been a solid start from the home side. They do tend to pick up the majority of their Premier League points here. As much as these two, Wood and Barnes, it's often a decent ball.
It's either a straight one down the side of the centre-backs or it's a diagonal one.
Victor Lindelof and now Ashley Young. Brandon Williams. There's Rashford. Fred. Now Lindelof. There's been a lot of Manchester United possession in the opening 33 minutes, but not clear-cut chances created to test Nick Pope.
No, they just got to find a way to penetrate, maybe a bit quicker. Spaces out wide for sure.
Williams with a chance to cross from the Manchester United left. And here's the chance that will fall for Martial, and was cleared off the line brilliantly by Phil Bardsley.
Outstanding clearance from Phil Bardsley. Really good play from Brandon Williams on that left-hand side.
They did just have a quick check there, the VAR team. Michael Oliver, by the way, on VAR as to when the ball went through Ben Mee's legs, whether it struck his arm, but it didn't. Here's Williams again from the left-hand side for United. Looking to exchange passes there with Marcus Rashford, and solid defending by Tarkowski. Brilliant clearance though, Owen, from Bardsley.
Well, initially from Brandon Williams, this is really good. Just stands it up at the back post. Taylor just misjudges it. Terrific block. I mean, there's two of them there. I think Mee's getting on the line as well. Really good effort from Martial. Picks the corner. Credit the Burnley players. Mee's there. Phil Bardsley's there.
They were defending in numbers and defending successfully there, Burnley. Don't forget, we're almost ready for the New Year's Day all-dayer. We've got all 10 matches from the New Year's Day round of matches. 9 on the 1st of January, and it finishes at Anfield with Liverpool against Sheffield United on the 2nd. Don't forget that Sky and BT TV customers can download the BT Sport app and flick between all of the games and watch all the goals as they go in with the goal alerts. Jack Cork winning it back there for Burnley. Here's Ashley Barnes. Wood can chase this one from Taylor. Lindelof won the header. I think that's the main area where Victor Lindelof has improved as a Premier League defender. That physical side of the game seemed a little bit lacking when he first came, but certainly seems to have developed in that area quite significantly this season. Whether that's having Maguire alongside him, I don't know.
Yeah, I think everybody wants him to be almost that Nemanja Vidic type, but he's different. You know, Nemanja was so unique in the term. He put his head on everything. But he's doing a really good job today against two really physical players. Just needs to embrace it.
Well, 2020 shaping up to be another exciting year on BT Sport as we prepare to bring you WWE from January, with Friday Night SmackDown on the 3rd, kick-starting the exclusive coverage. BT Sport will be the only place to see your favourite WWE superstars week in and week out. 0-0 here between Burnley and Manchester United. We've got 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. The closest either side have come to a goal so far. The Martial clearance off the line by Bardsley. Harry Maguire looking for Dan James.
He's done that well today, Fred. Second balls, he's won almost all of them, and switches of play have been really good with both feet.
Here's Marcus Rashford. Fred out to Williams. Martial among those waiting in the middle. Martial was the closest to it. And in the end, Ben Mee did enough in there for Burnley. But Nick Pope has gone down here, which will be a concern for Sean Dyche. Nick Pope, who's been in outstanding form this season, made his first start for England in the recent international against Kosovo. Missed pretty much the whole of last season with a dislocated shoulder. Joe Hart is the substitute goalkeeper for Burnley today.
Well, it's another exceptional ball in from Brandon Williams. Someone should be there. Oh, he just rolls his ankle. Just gets caught in the turf. I'm not going to see it there. Just had a shot. Oh, that's... I hope he's okay. Just gives way underneath him.
There's a man with plenty of experience who might be needed by Burnley. And Joe Hart preparing himself if Nick Pope can't carry on. He was playing for non-league Bury City after being released by Ipswich. He's a 16-year-old Nick Pope, and here he is vying with Jordan Pickford for the starting #1 shirt at the European Championships next summer.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I think he's a terrific goalkeeper. He's had that big injury last season. That's a bit of a worry for Sean Dyche. He's a capable replacement in Joe Hart.
So it's Ferguson here, who was the Manchester United manager back in 2009 when Robbie Blake scored the only goal. And you'll see Manchester United in the FA Cup next weekend, 5 o'clock on BT Sport 1 HD and BT Sport Ultimate. We've also got Rochdale, Newcastle, Middlesbrough, Tottenham and Gillingham against West Ham across third round weekend. And the applause you can hear is relief, I think, from the Burnley supporters that Nick Pope is seemingly okay. But Joe Hart, who hasn't played in the Premier League yet this season.
Not sure how much of a warm-up a goalkeeper needs.
No. Well, just to say as well that they've played 40 minutes here now. It's 0-0. Burnley still haven't had a shot on target. They've only had one shot on target in their last 3.5 hours of Premier League football, which will be a huge concern to Sean Dyche. It puts so much pressure on the rest of the team.
They didn't have any against Everton. And they won in the game before. But considering they don't have much possession, they don't have that many shots, they are clinical when they get in front of goal. Effective, their style of play. They're not going to play between the lines.
It's not been a game with a great deal of tempo, but that's often the case, isn't it? This middle game of 3 over Christmas, where managers are rotating players and legs are getting heavy.
Yeah, it is difficult for the players. You know, every 2 days for games.
It's hard to play at 1,000,000 miles an hour every time you go out there.
It is, yeah. I don't think it's fair, actually. Games every 2 days.
There's not a great deal you can do, is there, either in terms of the kind of usual preparation you do with your body in terms of recovery and then getting ready for the next match. There's simply not time to do it between Boxing Day and today.
Yeah, well, Ollie said, they couldn't do anything on the training pitch. What a ball that is.
Excellent to Ashley Barnes, who shoots wide. It was Westwood's pass that was inch perfect.
I mean, that is how you take a throw in, by the way. Throw and a brilliant ball in. That's from the training ground, from Sean Dyche. Execution is terrific. He's more than capable, Ashley Barnes.
He's just having one of those frustrating runs that strikers go through, Barnes, at the minute. Hasn't scored in 5 matches. Made a really quick start to the season, but the goals have dried up significantly since then. The main emphasis in terms of scoring goals for Burnley has been on Chris Wood alongside him in the last few matches. Here's Andreas Pereira. Fred. All kinds of space every time Manchester United have the ball for the left-back Brandon Williams.
Yeah, and to be fair, Fred's found him virtually every time. been the best outlet, Brandon Williams.
The youngster can have a run at the veteran. Bardsley was the defender there for Burnley.
He's actually done a good job, Brandon Williams, of mixing it up. Sometimes coming in on his favoured right foot, but when needed, staying out wide, using his left foot. Delivery's been very good.
Taylor loses out there to Andreas Pereira, and here's Anthony Martial. Glorious chance. 1-0 to Manchester United. And Burnley only have themselves to blame. The mistake by Taylor, and Anthony Martial takes himself into double figures for goals this season. It's Burnley 0, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, Sean Dyche, you just can't believe it. Normally it doesn't happen to his players. Martial, he just gets caught, Taylor. But the ball from Pereira is perfect. Great touch from Martial, out of his feet, and a really good finish. That one there, he's trying to clear it, can't really. Just got to kick it out, let it go out to play. He doesn't want to turn over possession, but in the end he does. Great ball from Pereira, and a really good finish from Martial.
And Anthony Martial, clinical for Manchester United on the stroke of half-time. 2 goals on Boxing Day.
Ashley Young has stepped in, played some terrific balls into midfield. Brandon Williams has been really effective as a left-back. Dan James has stepped in, played well again, and Pereira in that number 10 position has done a job. So when you make changes, all the boys have stepped up.
10 goals in 19 games is the record now for Anthony Martial. He's scored every time he's played at Turf Moor. He's played 3 games here, he's scored in every one of them. And they're such a different team, aren't they, Manchester United, when Martial is fit and playing through the middle for them.
You think about that front, that front 4, he's the oldest at 24. Remarkable, really. Rashford at 22, such a special player. He's in really good form, 2 against Newcastle. They need his goals, obviously with Lukaku leaving.
Forward by Young, away by Mee. Nemanja Matic went for a ride on the back of Chris Wood. Here's Phil Bardsley waiting for Westwood and then deciding to cross himself. It's a good ball, and then Westwood fires it back in, and it's cleared away in there by Victor Lindelof. The chance initially was for Dwight McNeil, but all he could do was put it back across the face of the Manchester United goal.
Yes. He's been outstanding for them this season, Dwight McNeil. It's such a great ball from Phil Bardsley. It's the second one he's played. It's difficult for Ashley Young. He gets in tight to Wood. Just miscues it, McNeil. Lindelof deals with the second one. That's exactly what he wants, Sean Dyche. Those balls into the box. Normally they execute better.
He's only scored the one goal so far this season, Dwight McNeil. He's also the only Burnley player to start every game they've played in the various competitions. A fantastic future ahead of him at the age of 20.
He's only got that one goal, but he's got 3 assists. He's their creative force really in this side. Need to get him more touches.
Well, there's the half-time whistle, blown by the referee Mike Dean, and it was Charlie Taylor's mistake that allowed Andreas Pereira to win the ball back for Manchester United and then tee up Anthony Martial, who scored his 3rd goal over the Christmas period, his 10th goal of the season. He might well have had another one had it not been for a tremendous goal line clearance earlier in the half from the former Manchester United defender Phil Bardsley. But there's work to do for Sean Dyche, whose side have struggled to create chances once again in the Premier League. Half-time, Burnley 0, Manchester United 1.
So we'll wait and see. They've not come from behind to win all season long, Burnley. It's going to take some turn. Okay, well, as you can see on the top of your screen there, Sean Dyche has just about made it to the dugout, so it's time for the second half with Darren and Owen.
Thanks, Jake. I was just looking at that very same thing. We can't kick off here until Sean Dyche gets across the pitch. It's a long old walk from the changing rooms to the other side, to the dugouts, which are on completely the opposite side of the stadium here at Turf Moor. So neither manager's made a change at half-time, as Jake said. Nick Pope, the Burnley goalkeeper, OK to continue. Burnley, going into this second half, only won one of their last 28 matches against the teams that we term the Big Six these days. And Anthony Martial's goal separated the teams after Charlie Taylor's first half mistake. And the emphasis is on Burnley here. Owen Hargreaves in the second half to do more to threaten Manchester United defensively.
Well, that's exactly what we want to do. Get McNeil more touches. A little chop there and a ball into the centre forwards. He's the creative one. Farsi played some great balls into the box. I agree with Scholes. I think United done well to just control the tempo, dominate the possession as they did against Newcastle. Okay, get a goal off a mistake from Taylor.
Burnley have to find a way in the second half to knock Manchester United out of the comfort zone that they're in. They've got the lead at the moment, Manchester United. I think the next thing on the agenda is to try and get a clean sheet. Their last clean sheet was 14 games ago, September the 14th against Leicester. The last time they went 15 league matches without a clean sheet was 1971. And of course, for that to change, Burnley have got to fashion a shot on target at least, which they haven't done so far in the game today. More decisive defending this time by the left-back Taylor, who will have been mulling over his mistake, I'm sure, during the half-time break. Maguire gets the help there from David De Gea. The back-pedalling Ben Mee can head away in front of Anthony Martial. Here's Pereira. And Brandon Williams has been up there as an attacking player pretty much the whole game so far. Marcus Rashford. And that's behind for the first corner of the second half for Manchester United. The defending done over there by Tarkowski for Burnley.
Well, credit Brandon Williams. He's picked his spots really well. Getting forward at the right times. Plays a nice ball in there to Rashford. Tarkowski deals with it. That's difficult against Rashford.
To go short again. Brandon Williams with a chance to cross. Harry Maguire was attacking it, and Nick Pope there to claim it. Lead towards Wood. Well dealt with there by Victor Lindelof, who's done well in those situations so far tonight. You'd expect Harry Maguire to relish that kind of challenge, but Lindelof has been up for it too. Here's McNeil, Hendrick shot when he got Bardsley in all kinds of space running down the right, and the crowd, as much as anybody, were keen to tell him that.
That's good play from Burnley. And to be fair, you're right, he's just got to play Bardsley in on. He's in plenty of space. I think sometimes as a player you just see that space. I think I'll have a pop. He has scored goals from those positions. Hendrick.
Here's Martial. He's got Rashford over there with him. Andreas Pereira's through the middle at the moment for Manchester United. Here's Matic, and now Fred. Gets away from Cork and Ben Mee. Here's Dan James, who can have a go at Charlie Taylor and deliver the ball in. And the foul's going to go against Anthony Martial. Tarkowski was the Burnley defender that went down. And despite the fact that Martial gets the ball in the back of the net, it won't count.
Again, really good play from Fred. He's been a driving force from midfield. And James 1v1 is just too quick. I'd be interested to see that replay again because
there's Marcus Rashford on the move, is supported again by Brandon Williams. Pereira. Bardsley can launch it forward, but even the willingness of Ashley Barnes won't get him anywhere near that.
It's just a bit too straight from Burnley, some of those passes. They've had a bit more success when they played on diagonal balls and got the knockdown. I think the straight ones Maguire and Lindelof have dealt with really well.
Andreas Pereira, Marcus Rashford. Oh, Harry Maguire.
Again, that's what I was talking about for Fred, driving forward. Look at Dan James. It's beyond Taylor there. Yeah, it's a push in the back, really.
Mike Dean calling it right without the need for VAR.
Yeah, it's nice to see him in there, though, Martial, already, just competing for every cross that's coming in.
By Taylor. Cork in there on Martial, picked up by Pereira, then Westwood got the challenge in. Hendrick there just ahead of Marcus Rashford. Here's Bardsley. Satisfactory night so far for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It's that stage of the season, Owen, isn't it, where you play 3 games in quick succession, where you really can make a move if you're a team like Manchester United, trying to get into the top 4, pick up 9 points out of 9 over Christmas, and all of a sudden the table looks a lot different than it did beforehand.
When you think about it, Chelsea dropping some points, Tottenham dropping some points. Who would have thought top 4 is a realistic target now for them? In the 3 cups as well. There's still plenty to play for.
Here's Bardsley for Burnley. Dwight McNeil. Westwood to Taylor. Manages to whip the cross in. It's just headed away by Victor Lindelof and then helped on by Andreas Pereira. Bardsley there just ahead of Marcus Rashford.
They deserve credit, Maguire and Lindelof, so far. Wow, what a turn that was.
Fantastic play from McNeil. Best we've seen from him so far today. Now Cork. Taylor. And the block made there by James. They got both Barnes and Wood waiting for the cross in the middle.
And you see McNeil drifting inside. He's not getting the touches out wide. That's to affect the game.
James Tarkowski on to Phil Bardsley. Far too deep that one from the right back, but it's more encouraging that passage of play from Burnley, particularly what we saw from Dwight McNeil.
And we saw Burnley facing their own goal. Taylor, in the end, he gave away a poor ball and they scored. What a turn that is. And Sean Dyche probably would have had his heart worried about that one, but he's just technically, he's such a good player, Dwight McNeil. He really is. Just need to get him more touches.
He's a player that came through the Manchester United academy before joining Burnley as a teenager. Will be with Manchester United, by the way, on New Year's Day when they're at the Emirates against Arsenal. Here's Pereira, and now Martial took it early, and Nick Pope needed the feet to keep it out. Now Matic, Williams, Rashford. Good firm challenge in there by Ben Mee on Dan James, and now McNeil can bring Burnley forward. Ashley Westwood. Really good enthusiasm by young Williams to get back and slow the Burnley midfielder down. And then Harry Maguire away. Fred to Martial. Dan James takes over.
I think when you see Anthony Martial as active as he is today, making runs, running at defenders, it's so difficult to play against. Like, sometimes he's just not active enough. I think tonight he has been very active, making the right runs, being a good target for the midfield players as well.
It's become very blustery in the last few minutes here at Turf Moor. Whether that has any impact on defenders and goalkeepers, we'll wait and see. It's a really cold winter's night here in the northwest of England. Manchester United leading thanks to Anthony Martial's goal just before half-time. Here's Jack Cork. Ashley Westwood. Dwight McNeil. Now Charlie Taylor. And he goes towards Barnes. It was away by Maguire. Hendrick.
He's tried again. But again, it's Dwight McNeil. Terrific take in midfield on the half-turn. Charlie Taylor into the box. Again, Maguire's there. It's just a difficult one against a keeper like De Gea. It's the opportunity earlier for Martial. Really good run and a good save from Pope with his feet.
7 clean sheets in the Premier League so far this season for Nick Pope. On by Dan James for Manchester United. Jay Rodriguez on his way for Burnley. I wonder whether he might leave the front two on and add to them with Jay Rodriguez. Sean Dyche. There's McNeil, started to get his feet going for Burnley. Chance to cross from the left-hand side, blocked behind by Young for the corner. Looking a lot more promising for Burnley in the last 5 minutes or so as an attacking team.
Especially because they get Dwight McNeil on the ball. He is a joy to watch. The way he takes the ball on the half-turn. A lovely left foot. Great balance and composure. He just needs more touches.
Two big centre-backs have gone in there, James Tarkowski and Ben Mee. Ashley Westwood with the corner. And a good defensive header in there by Victor Lindelof. There's a chance though for Dwight McNeil to shoot. And drags it across the face of the Manchester United goal.
I see Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes saying just square it. I think he's got every right to have a hit. Nishan Lindelof does well, wins that header. Fred gets that one. It just falls to Dwight McNeil. And Barnes is offside. Wood would have been able to, but Dwight McNeil has every right to shoot from there. Just drags it. I think it's Hendrick coming off. I think Westwood's just going to have a chat with Sean Dyche.
That's an attacking change, that, from Sean Dyche. He's played in every game so far this season. Jay Rodriguez scored recently as well. Just some breaking news that we're hearing about as well. West Ham United have confirmed that they parted company with their manager, Manuel Pellegrini, tonight. That following the defeat against a much-changed Leicester City team.
Just too many issues. I think of that football club there. I think about the changes some of the teams have made that have had an impact. Watford, Everton. West Ham probably hoping for the same.
There's Marcus Rashford on the move for Manchester United. Jay Rodriguez involved for the first time and quickly receives the ball again. Here's Ashley Barnes. Matic. Now Fred. You'd expect the arrival of Jay Rodriguez to at least push Brandon Williams back into a more defensive position on the Manchester United left side. Here's Martial looking to get the better of Tarkowski, who did really well at the back for Burnley.
And that's what Lindelof gives you. That ball into Martial was really good. Just better defending from Tarkowski.
And Pereira here in the cheers of the crowd for the late challenge on Charlie Taylor.
And to be fair, Pereira, I think Joe Cole said at half-time, he's pressed the ball really well, Pereira. Gives away a free kick there. But back to your point about Rodriguez. They desperately need a goal. He's more than capable. I think with Barnes and Wood, there'll be plenty more balls into the box.
Launched forward by Nick Pope. Chris Wood trying to get there for Burnley. Fred was there for Manchester United.
He's played really well, Fred, in there. Technically and physically.
By Pereira, and then it falls here for Martial, who's offside. He's going to come back here for the foul by Ben Mee on Dan James, and that's a yellow card.
There's no question of that. He's so quick, Dan James, into that space. Defenders always think they can get there, but he's much quicker. Martial, I think, was just offside.
Confirmation of the yellow card there for the Burnley centre-back Ben Mee, and a Manchester United free kick. This one is too far out for Marcus Rashford, despite the confidence that he clearly has in this kind of situation at the moment. Pereira and Fred over the free kick for United. And Lindelof and Maguire have gone in there. It's Pereira's delivery, and alert defending in there by Tarkowski. Sean Dyche discussing options with Ian Woan and Tony Loughlin, two men that have been with him for a long time. And Michael Carrick alongside Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Flicked by Woods. Cleared away by Fred. Driven forward by Phil Bardsley towards Ashley Barnes. That's an excellent ball by the right back. The offside flag up against Burnley.
Oh, Phil Bardsley
shouldn't detract from the pass, should it?
No, I mean, Phil Bardsley's played some brilliant balls. Doesn't look offside there. But Phil Bardsley plays some great switches. That's what I mean. The diagonal one's been an issue. Been a really good ball for Burnley. United have struggled a bit with that. You just see there, Dwight McNeil, he's gone central. Barnes is on the left, Woods up top. Rodriguez on the right-hand side. They want to get more touches for McNeil.
There's Andreas Pereira. And now Marcus Rashford. He can have a go at Bardsley. Got a bit of help over there as well from Jay Rodriguez, which came in handy.
Well, you need that against Marcus Rashford. When he runs at defenders, it's so difficult. He's got Phil Bardsley turn, but Rodriguez is back in there. Another great switcher play. It's on from Fred in the first half. Pereira with a lovely one out to Rashford.
Short corners have been the norm for Manchester United today. Here's Brandon Williams. Dan James. Barnes was able to reach it, and then Matic hits it wide. Made a lightning quick start, didn't he, as a goal scorer, Dan James. Scored 3 in his first 4 Premier League matches, but hasn't scored since the end of August.
I think he's been outstanding this season, but I think he's probably more comfortable on the left-hand side, but that's Rashford's position. I think from the right-hand side, he only really goes out down the right-hand side.
So confirmation there at the bottom of the screen, confirmation that Manuel Pellegrini has been sacked this evening by West Ham United. There's more optimism though for Burnley. Owen, 20 minutes into the second half than we saw in the first. Hasn't led to an attempt on David De Gea's goal as yet, but there's been more desire to get forward and try and make something happen.
I don't think Sean Dyche will be too disappointed. This is, as Scholesy said half time, this is how Burnley play. They're comfortable at it. They just need to create a bit more. I think United have controlled the game. Again, Pereira, lovely one too with James. They've controlled the game well. People criticise that they're not a possession-based side. They dominate possession against Newcastle and doing it again today. Just got to find a way to win these games. Burnley's still in this.
Yeah, Young threaded a nice ball through there to Martial. Marcus Rashford, down goes Martial. Mike Dean says, play on. I think he'll probably wait here for the VAR check.
Well, to be fair, they collide. It's really good play from Man United. They've kept the ball really well. Great reverse ball.
Jane, it was Martial colliding with Bardsley. Whether it started outside the box, I don't know. Bardsley being looked at by the Burnley medical team.
From the other angle, it looks like Martial runs into him there. And from the other one, it looks like contact's initiated the other way. Great reverse ball for Marcus Rashford. And Bardsley just moves over ever so slightly. They just come together, don't they?
There's Johan Berg Gudmundsson, who missed 2.5 months with a hamstring injury but came back on Boxing Day. He looks like he's going to be the next man on for Burnley. Might well be for Ashley Barnes, who's not had a great deal of joy up there alongside Chris Wood.
He's just so physical, isn't he? Ashley Barnes. There's a free kick against Ashley Young. And to be fair, this is a very attacking Burnley team. Gudmundsson coming on. You're right, Fletch, it is Ashley Barnes going off. You can see Rodriguez go up top with Chris Wood. McNeil back to this left-hand side. And Gudmundsson on that right wing against Brandon Williams.
You can see the Burnley problem of the outfield players they've got on the pitch at the moment. They've managed 14 goals between them this season, which is one less than Marcus Rashford has individually. The only player with a significant number of goals is Chris Wood, who's got 7. We're going to try and find something here in what remains of this match, 22 minutes or so, to prevent Manchester United moving to within a point of Chelsea in the top 4. We've got a free kick here though for the foul on Wood.
I've done a really good job, Victor Lindelof, being physical in matching Chris Wood and Barnes at times, but here he's just too physical. No need. This is what Burnley want. They want free kicks in these areas.
It's one of those frustrating ones for Lindelof where the officials don't see the pull on his shirt at the outset, but then they do see his persistence and award the free kick against him. The kind of situation for Burnley here that you feel they've got to make the most of tonight. McNeil with the delivery. And then hit back in, what a save by David De Gea to deny Phil Bardsley a dream goal against his old club.
Wow, what a save from De Gea. First of all, the ball from McNeil is outstanding. Brilliant strike from Phil Bardsley. Really good save from De Gea, just when they needed it.
Corner taken by Westwood. It's a deep one towards Ben Mee. And the last touch off Brandon Williams. Pressure for the first time in the match, really, on the Manchester United goal.
And then you just see giving away those free kicks in wide areas, invite a bit of pressure, don't only get the ball into the box. The delivery from McNeil was outstanding. Good strike and an even better save from De Gea.
David De Gea was criticised for the mistake at Watford, which eventually cost Manchester United any points, but he's kept them in the lead with that save. In goes the corner, and it's a David De Gea punch in the middle of the melee for United. Away by Bardsley, forward by Fred. Here's me. Taylor had his heart in his mouth again there, didn't he, the Burnley left back, thinking about what happened to him at the end of the first half.
And just sense a bit more urgency about Burnley.
And the crowd are into it too, aren't they now?
They feel it.
There's Goodmanson. Westwood, away by Lindelof. Charlie Taylor has caught Dan James, who went down. He's going to come back for a card, yellow for Charlie Taylor. Maybe treatment needed here for Dan James.
I'm amazed players think they can actually get there against Dan James all the time. He's just too quick. Gets into those spaces. He's so late, Charlie Taylor.
There's been a gradual decline in the... there's Jesse Lingard, by the way. There's been a gradual decline in the number of clean sheets that David De Gea keeps as the Manchester United goalkeeper. 22 in the 17-18 season. He was down to 7 Premier League clean sheets last season. Only 2 so far this season, but he's still capable, Owen, of saves like this.
Well, they need him to be at his best. That was difficult because it's going away from De Gea, bounces into the turf. It's just what we expect of him, isn't it? When he makes mistakes, everybody's so surprised, but still one of the best.
Dan James still being looked at here by the United medical people. Jesse Lingard is ready, and we presume it's going to be for Dan James when they get him back on his feet. He took a real whack, didn't he, from Charlie Taylor.
To be fair to him, he takes loads of them, and his work rate is outstanding. And when people catch him, because of the speed he's running at, they tend to be quite heavy knocks.
So United will now make the change, and it is Jesse Lingard for Dan James. Lingard, whose last Premier League goal was in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game against Cardiff last December. He's had 29 Premier League appearances since then without doing it. In fact, it's going to be Pereira, not James. So they clearly feel he's going to be okay to carry on.
I think he's played really well, Andreas Pereira. Played that ball for Martial to make everyone else press the ball really well. Been composed. Him and I think Fred, Pereira, Matic have controlled that midfield.
So on comes Jesse Lingard. With 17 minutes to go. Now the all-dayer is on the way. New Year's Day, the 2nd of January. We will be in the capital with Manchester United. They've got Arsenal 9 games on the 1st of January, and then it finishes on the 2nd with the runaway Premier League leaders Liverpool against Sheffield United. BT TV customers and Sky customers can download the BT Sport app and flick between all of the games and watch all the goals as they go in with the goal alerts. Really looking forward to bringing you all 10 games over the New Year's period here on BT Sport. Manchester United are going to be looking to carry their recent form into 2020 as well. Their only defeat in their last 8 Premier League games was against Watford. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said in the build-up to this match that if they can become more consistent, they will finish in the top 4. It's fighting talk, I suppose, from the Manchester United manager, but you can see where he's coming from. They are capable of going toe-to-toe with the best in the league. They've got points against Liverpool and Manchester City and the like this season, but it's that fallibility against so-called lesser teams that's been letting them down.
Well, and if you think about, you know, that front four we spoke about, they're really young, still relatively young side, this United team. I know they've got experience in De Gea, Maguire, Matic today, but they need Pogba back. But they're in the position now to attack for the front, for the top four.
Here's Jay Rodriguez, Ashley Westwood, Jack Cork, free kick to Burnley. Harry Maguire complains. Mike Dean was adamant that he committed the foul there.
It's one of the few times they've actually tried to play nice little 1-2s in and around the box. You see Maguire and Cork. Great position for a free kick.
One man who is arguing his case down there is the right-back Phil Bardsley. I'm not surprised the way he's striking the ball today. Goodmanson and McNeil are more likely candidates, but you can't blame Bardsley for trying to get in on the act.
Well, Phil loves to... He's a brilliant striker in terms of... But he'll want to smash it. This needs a bit of finesse, a bit of up and down, over top of the wall. You see Goodmanson and McNeil. Looks like it's going to be Goodmanson.
It is Goodmanson, and it's just that little bit too high, and it emphasised the point that you made. The easy bit's getting it up, the difficult bit's getting it back down again.
Well, the great ones, they get it up, but then it gets back down. And that one, that's actually pretty good from Goodmanson. To be fair, I think De Gea has probably got it covered as well.
Is that all about the spin, how you get it back down again? I mean, he used to take free kicks a lot.
I think it's something you either have or you don't. A lot of boys step up and, yeah, it is spin. And he's got it, Goodmanson, just didn't get enough on it.
The pleasing thing for Sean Dyche is the fact that there is an attempt on target, and his team have been a much better attacking team since the restart. The changes have made them more effective. Anthony Martial's first half goal, though, still the difference between the two teams with just over 13 minutes to go. Still make one more change if he wants to, Sean Dyche. He's got two former Manchester United players on his bench, Danny Drinkwater and Robbie Brady. You wonder whether we'll see Mason Greenwood for Manchester United today. He's been in excellent form this season, scored another fine goal on Boxing Day against Newcastle. Here's McNeil into Rodriguez. Phil Bardsley. Goodmanson. Well spotted by Ashley Young. Two men who came through the system at Old Trafford. Robbie Brady, who started on Boxing Day. Danny Drinkwater still waiting to establish himself in the Burnley team in the Premier League. Rodriguez towards Goodmanson, but intercepted by Williams, whose first thought is to lead Manchester United forward. Marcus Rashford. Good defending by Tarkowski. Here's Jay Rodriguez. He's only got Chris Wood up there with him. The 2020 shaping up to be another exciting year on BT Sport. We've got WWE from January. Friday night SmackDown on the 3rd is going to kickstart the exclusive coverage, and BT Sport will be the only place where you can see the WWE every week. Goodmanson for Burnley. In towards Rodriguez, headed away by Maguire. Young there just ahead of Taylor. And he had no chance really of stopping his momentum, did he, the left back, once Ashley Young had won the header?
Yeah, it's just been a step late. It's been a bit unfortunate. He's involved in the goal. Give the ball away just a bit late there. I have to credit the United defenders. Brandon Williams on that left-hand side, Ashley Young, Lindelof and Maguire, they've all been really physical and embraced the physical challenge of Sean Dyche's players. Defended very well.
Rashford looking to latch onto that. Ben Mee was off balance when he headed it. Into the final 10 minutes we go at Turf Moor. Burnley 0, Manchester United 1. Bardsley winning the aerial battle with Anthony Martial, but losing the battle, keeping the ball in play. Three tough games on the cards for Manchester United after this one. They're away at Arsenal on Wednesday. We'll be there with them. Then they've got Wolves in the FA Cup and then Manchester City in the League Cup semi-final. It's a tough slate of games, but the kind of games they want to be involved in at this stage of the season. It'll be a test for them. They've got Liverpool on the horizon as well. That's not too far away either. No surprise here, Owen, that Nick Pope's going to take the opportunity to send it forward.
Just want a big diagonal one. So United have dealt with a lot of these balls really well.
It's whether they can feed off any kind of flick from Tarkowski, who will be the target for Pope. But falling short. I think that might be the first occasion when we've seen the blustery wind playing its part. Here's James running at pace, skipping away from Westwood, getting it through to Martial, who's in for another for Manchester United. And Pope did really well. Here's Jesse Lingard. Vital challenge by Tarkowski, has somehow got a foot in. And then a great block in there by Rodriguez to deny Fred. Fantastic defence in the end from Burnley. It looks for all the world as though Martial was going to get a second.
Dan James again does brilliantly. When he's central and he gets into that space, he's almost unstoppable. Just takes too much time, Anthony Martial. Thought he was going to pull the trigger. That's Dan James in there. Martial's on side. Just wanted to pull the trigger. Maybe Pope comes out and forces him not to take the shot on. A bit of a heavy touch from Jesse Lingard.
Had that been on Anthony Martial's right side, he might well have been a little bit more clinical. It's an opportunity all the same, though, for Manchester United to give themselves a bit of daylight. Well, there's some defending for Burnley to do from the free kick. Fred onto the head of Maguire, away by Mee, and then by Goodmanson. Fred to Rashford. That's got out of play. There's about 1,000 assistant referees over there who all spotted the ball roll out, Owen.
That's why we love football. Everybody has an opinion.
No foul there by Rodriguez on Brandon Williams.
I think both managers, in a way, will be quite happy in the way their team has played. I think Burnley just don't have anything to show for it. But Ole Gunnar will be proud as players can control the game in terms of possession.
Burnley with just over 5 minutes to find an equaliser. Taylor shrugs off James. Good defending by Young. Last touch off the Burnley left back. It's a Manchester United goal kick. He's played well tonight, Ashley Young, hasn't he, replacing Aaron Wan-Bissaka?
And Charlie Taylor's tried so hard to get up, just so unlucky, just comes off him. But you're right, Ashley Young's been very good. Brandon Williams has been good. Lindelof, Maguire, De Gea has made a save.
You'll see Manchester United on New Year's Day at Arsenal. You'll see them next Saturday as well, 5 o'clock, 1HD, and BT Sport Ultimate in the third round of the FA Cup at Wolves. You'll also see Rochdale, Newcastle, Middlesbrough, Tottenham and Gillingham against West Ham, all live and exclusive across third round weekend. Here's Dan James. Marcus Rashford's down off the ball for Manchester United. Mike Dean's going to stop the game because it's a head injury.
Tarkowski just catches him, nothing in that, both going for the ball. You saw that header goal he had against Newcastle. Reminded you of Ronaldo. Terrific leap. Game is just evolving all the time. Marcus Rashford, 22, 60 goals for Man United, outstanding.
Robbie Brady's going to be the final throw of the dice for Sean Dyche. Anthony Martial is the all-important man for Manchester United so far tonight. Charlie Taylor's error and a clinical finish by the Frenchman on the stroke of half-time for United.
And he just gets caught in a position he didn't want to be in. Charlie Taylor, great pressing from Pereira, lovely weighted ball, sets it Martial, just guided by Nick Pope. And a good finish, just what Manchester United needed. There wasn't much in the game up to that point. United dominated possession, but that mistake cost Burnley.
You can't accuse Sean Dyche of not trying to make attacking changes tonight. Jack Cork off and Robbie Brady on. He's gone to every available attacking option on his bench. Offside flag up against Anthony Martial. It was a lovely ball flicked through by Brandon Williams, though.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, Fletch. What's a ball from Brandon Williams? Trying to get back on side, Anthony Martial. Just off.
Final 3 minutes of football in 2019 for Burnley and Manchester United. The next time we see the pair of them, it'll be a brand new start, a brand new year. And you wonder what 2020 will bring for the pair of them. Here's Bardsley. Goodmanson. 3 waiting in claret and blue for the cross. It's in towards Woods. It's steered away by Fred. Brady was trying to get in on the act for the first time since coming on in there too. Now James Tarkowski. Goodmanson. Phil Bardsley. Dwight McNeil. Skips away from Matic. Williams was back there well. That's a foul by McNeil. It's been a really mature performance by the teenager at left back for Manchester United tonight.
Flawless. He's actually been flawless. Taking up positions as a fullback where he needs to be. Gets across. McNeil. Offensively, he's been a terrific outlet. Ashley Young's been really good on the other side as well. Really mature performance from Brandon Williams.
So the yellow card for McNeil. And Manchester United are going to make another change. There's Luke Shaw, who is coming on for the goal scorer for Manchester United tonight, Anthony Martial.
Another good performance. Man of the match against Newcastle. I think even Sir Alex and David Gill will be proud of the way he played. Match winner today. All that important goal.
Final minute of the 90 at Turf Moor. Lingard. Rashford. Offside flag up against Luke Shaw. Manchester United, Owen, on the verge of their first clean sheet since the middle of September against Leicester, which sure will please Ole Gunnar Solskjaer almost as much as the win if they get it.
Yeah, they just need to get a bit of momentum.
Make a huge difference to them as a team if they could stop the goals flowing in at the other end, wouldn't it?
I think defensively, you know, it's probably their greatest strength at the moment in terms of goals. They don't concede a ton of goals, but you're right, they haven't kept any clean sheets, but goal scoring in terms of way behind in terms of City and Liverpool.
Yeah. 5 minutes to be added on.
This has been a good performance, I think, for Ole. A lot of changes 2 days after that game against Newcastle. Tough one against Arsenal.
Keep themselves on course as it stands for maximum points over the Christmas period. On by Wood, still time though for Burnley. James was in there again, doesn't lack for bravery, Dan James. Here's Fred. Now Shaw, Rashford and Lingard waiting in the middle, and so was Tarkowski. Oh, Johan Berg Gudmundsson for Burnley, only to Harry Maguire. Here's Brandon Williams. Stopped in his tracks unceremoniously by Bardsley. He's being shown another yellow card. In fact, it's gone the other way. It's gone against Williams. Well, Mike Dean considers that to be a dive, Owen.
I don't. Well, to be fair, he's running at such pace, Brandon Williams.
In fairness to Phil Bardsley, he's pulled out. He's not making any attempt to try and foul Brandon Williams.
But he's
Whether a yellow card's a bit harsh.
No, it is very harsh.
Sure.
He's anticipating contact.
It's right on the opposite side of the ground from where we are, so we've got as good a view as you have with the replay. So a yellow card for the Manchester United teenager for what Mike Dean viewed as simulation.
There's difference between just diving and then somebody almost blocking your path. And to be fair, the speed he was running, I think it's very harsh. He's been outstanding, Brandon Williams. That's pretty much all the United players have.
Picked up by me to Woods. There's the busy Gudmundsson. There's the block by Young, corner to Burnley. Now, is this the moment they've been waiting for? Deep into stoppage time at Turf Moor. Everybody, including the goalkeeper Nick Pope's on his way in there. Westwood with the corner. It's another deep one. Gudmundsson heads it on. It was away in there by Shaw. Back in by McNeil. It's a searching ball. It was well defended by Manchester United. Then by Westwood. Maguire was in there again. They're appealing for a handball, the Burnley players. Pope over there now playing as a sweeper. It's all happening, Owen.
That's going in from Fred. Is he going to get there?
It's a yellow card for Jesse Lingard for the challenge. Is it Lingard or is it Fred?
Right, it's all kicking off here at the end.
Some end to the game, this. They did take a look at that handball shout from Burnley. VAR didn't see anything untoward in there. In goes the free kick. All hands to the pumps defensively for United. The big man up there for Burnley. Away by Ashley Young, and now the break on. Rashford sprinting through the middle. James has spotted him, flag stays down. Rashford to seal it, around the goalkeeper and in, just about. It's another goal for Marcus Rashford, 16th this season now for him, and it's 3 more points for Manchester United to take them to within a point of the top 4 places.
I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be really proud of his players. When you defend as well as Manchester United have today, you give yourself the platform to go and get this second goal. And this all comes from really good defending. Ashley Young plays a lovely ball into Dan James. He wants to run into that space, but credit Marcus Rashford, he's onside. Willing runner late in the game. Nick Pope does well actually just to put him off, but he finds a way to get it into the goal.
Well, when he got to this point, you thought goal. How it went in,
Tackled it in.
Well, left you thinking he'll score more elegant ones than that this season.
Yeah, you see Nick Pope, he just tackles it off Marcus Rashford's shin. Somehow he almost half crossed it. There's a tackle into the goal.
When you're in goal-scoring form, they go in every which way, and he knows that better than anybody. And there is the full-time whistle. And it's 3 more points for Manchester United. It's a happy end to 2019 for their manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it's a victory that takes them to within a point of the top 4 places. Charlie Taylor's mistake on the stroke of half-time allowed Anthony Martial in to score his 3rd goal of the festive period and his 10th goal of the season, and it was left to Marcus Rashford on the counter-attack to go around his England teammate Nick Pope and slide home his 16th goal of the season. Back-to-back wins over Christmas for Manchester United. It's finished Burnley 0, Manchester United 2.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Owen. And that is what you call a decent December. In early November, Manchester United were 10 points off the top 4. Come the end of December, they've closed the gap to just a single point. So that was an important victory tonight. It puts the pressure on Chelsea ahead of tomorrow.
It does, yeah, and they needed that as a great victory from who we talk about consistent, and strangely enough, they've only lost once in 9 games, so they started to find some, and I thought they were excellent tonight. Burnley did have a little spell, I suppose, from 75 minutes onwards, but United handled everything brilliant and were well worthy of the win.
We talk about games of 2 halves, it's an old cliche, but it absolutely was from Burnley. In the first half, Manchester United were peppering them and they had to deal with their defending. In the second half, it was a very different challenge for Ole.
In the first half, you saw Burnley that, you know, when they play that system, the difficulties, if you don't get in close, you never win any second balls, you never get any joy. Second half, they come out, Sean Dyche had them up for it, they got up the pitch, there was a little bit more braver in their positioning, they pressured Man United and they got balls into the box, which Man United were brilliant, they defended brilliant. Harry Maguire was top class, particularly in the last 15 minutes when you need characters. I thought the midfield of United was excellent from the start to finish, and there's a reasoning now that there's one defeat in 9 games. There seems to be the level of consistency coming, and look, people are smiling on Manchester United faces again.
Absolutely, and I saw Des out there doing his usual, grabbing older players for a quick chat. Let's see who he's tracked down. Des, all yours as Ole celebrates in front of the large travelling support here.
Thanks, Jake.